This video is part of the 5 Under 5 Garden and Porch Decor Open Challenge, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later in the video. Welcome to my Temu Haul Florals and Greenery. To start things off, I have 2 bunches of lavender, one yellow, one purple. They were $3.99 when I got them, but they were, when I checked the links, they were on sale for $2.37. I really like this lavender. It comes in different colors. I think there's pink and something else. I don't remember, but you get 4 picks in each bunch. So, well worth the $3.99 price tag. I really like how Temu packages their florals in plastic. So here's a large, tall, faux Pampas grass for $1.79. But when I checked the link, the sale price was $1.25. Here's a piece of artificial roses, 10 heads, $3.19. But the sale price was $2.61, and these are so pretty. So they come with like the little embellished flowers with them. We have 6 pieces of chrysanthemum oxidation resistance, and those were $3.47 when I got them. See how they just put a rubber band around them to keep them together, so you don't have to bother cutting them. You can just put one into an existing floral arrangement. I love that they're all single petals in the head of the chrysanthemum. This is really cool. It's a one-piece 20 LED branch lights, and it was only $3.98. I went ahead and put some batteries in there already, 2 AA's, and see, you could put a bunch of them in a pot. Even just these 20 pieces, I'm going to make it its own vase. 5 pieces of flocked lambs are $2.39. However, when I checked the link, it was on sale for $1.95. Let's see, it comes with little bunches. I think it's 5 bunches. And lamb's ear is also really good for embellishing, like your wood rounds, or even on your wreaths, or under your bows. Well worth the price tag. Okay, this is a piece of artificial peony tea flowers for $2.39. However, when I checked the link, the sale price was $1.67 or $62.67. And look how pretty these are. They look a lot like the roses, but these have like little flowers with them. The roses had like little baby's breath with them. They are all on one pick, but it's really easy to get them off. I have these eucalyptus, 20 pieces of mixed eucalyptus, and it was $4.19, but when I checked the link, the sale price was $3.77. This is well worth the $4 price tag because it's just so pretty. It's not monotonous, all the leaves the same. There's like a variety of color, size, and even like the little floral on the tip. And see, they have like really small stem, and then Temu actually wrapped it in bubble wrap. So I had one other flower I forgot to show you, but now it's time for the porch refresh. Okay, the first thing our porch refresh needs is a flower pot riser. In fact, it probably needs a few, but I'm just going to make one for now. I'm using those half beads as feet on the riser. We have this metal bottle cap and some adhesive cork sheet. Unfortunately, that rope that was used for hanging doesn't fit around the inside, so I have some spare rope for that. And then I'm going to spray it with this clear spray paint, and that's just so the paint and the glue and everything sticks nicely. So once that clear coat was dry, I set about planning how the feet were going to go. For now, I'm just going to circle them with a white paint marker. I'm just kind of trying to make it even there, because I don't want to do it when I'm gluing and have them all hodgepodgey. So I'm going to paint the bottom, even though you're not really going to see it. Just kind of want to make it all finished. And I just painted around those circles where I'm going to glue the feet. And of course the reason I do that is just so we get good adhesion. I find the edges turn out well when I paint it like that, the up and down motion. And I'll do the same for the inside edge as well. And then I'll rub my paintbrush around just at the very edge in case anything shows, but I'm going to have a rope border there, so you're not going to see anything. Went ahead and painted the feet white as well. And again, you're probably not going to see it, but you know, if somebody picks it up or whatever, they'll notice it's totally finished. I used the outside edge of the bottle cap to draw on the back of the adhesive cork sheet. And then I'm just cutting a circle. And as you can see, my circle cutting skills have not improved. And that's why I keep plenty of rope around for my rope borders. So I'm going to let everything dry, the feet and everything. And I'm going to get this adhesive sheet. And this adhesive is really good. I am, however, going to put some hot glue on the edges, just, you know, to be safe, for extra security. Because I feel like if it was going to lift, it's going to lift, you know, on the edges. It's not going to bubble up in the middle. And I just ran a little bit of hot glue before I pressed it down. Okay, now time for the rope border. It's just a few little lines of hot glue every once in a while, and I'm going to press the rope into it, and then just take your time, like hold on to it for a while. It'll press into the glue really nicely, and it won't look uneven. It'll be like a nice smooth border if you just press and hold. So, you know, I speed things up here, but when you're doing it, if you choose to do something like this, just be patient and hold on to that rope for a little bit, and you'll have the best looking border. Alright, the feet are going on now. I put a little bit of super glue down first, and then I'm coming in with some hot glue just to hang on to those feet until that super glue sets. Okay, better look in the porch reveal. Okay, this second porch refresh idea is a color refresh. And you can take any old statue, the line around the house, or maybe an old one outside that's seen better days. You can wash it, sand it down, and then come in with some color for summer. So this is a little statue I got from Amazon. It was the 2-pack, 2 little angels. You can also buy garden statues at Lowe's and just paint them whatever colors you want. They seem pretty drab and plain when you first get them, so adding the color is just like a huge transformation. And that's what I decided I wanted for this little girl. That's just Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint on the wings and some lilac on the dress. Now, if this was going way out front, like my other garden statues, I would definitely use a finishing spray or some white wax. But since it's going to be in the porch, it's not going to get like direct sun. I just left it as is. I just painted it anyway, and she was good to go. Again, I made a color for her hair. There's some copper in there and gray. I think maybe a little coral. I don't even remember. I'm just putting paint together until I liked how they looked. So I'll do that for her hair and also for her skin. I just mixed a bunch of colors together. And the nice thing about starting with the largest surface area and then going down is you end up going over your little oopsies. And you gradually cover up everything till you're down to the smallest little area to paint. So, it just goes to show you don't have to have all the colors you want. Just play with them. That's what this color refresh is all about. And at the end, I'll do the little book, and you'll see that in the porch reveal. Okay, now it's time to refresh these two flower pots. One is faux rusted plastic, and one is just a regular terracotta. This is how they looked before. This is the faux rusted one held up with the rock in my little wagon. And that's the terracotta pot with white poinsettias in it. The faux rusted one had red faded poinsettias in it. So before we do anything with the flowers, I just wanted to give a quick coat of paint to the terracotta. I just felt like it was kind of bland and boring. So I mixed up this earthy green. Now the table on the porch is green. This one's going to not match. It's going to be darker and earthier. But I still think it'll look great. And so I just, took my time and went for full coverage. And I'm going to leave the brim of the pot as is. I wanted sort of a break between the color on the pot and the color of the flowers. So that pot had dirt in it. I'm just going to leave that in it. Then the faux rusted plastic pot, it was kind of big, and the poinsettias that were in it were in floral foam, and every time it rained, the pot would fill up with water and the floral foam would float to the top, and then the poinsettias would fall out of the pot. So this time around, I'm going to put a taller pail inside the pot. It's going to hold the flowers in tighter, and I don't think they'll float out this time. These are the eucalyptus I showed you at the beginning of the video. And I did the math, and even with all the flowers I'm putting in here, it's still less than $5. The yellow lavender there was only $1 a pick, and I believe I put a whole pick in there. And I don't even think I took it off the you know how some have them all together and others are just single? The lavender is all together on a pick. I'm popping in some of those chrysanthemums, those pretty chrysanthemums. I just love how it's each individual petal. It just looks so high-end. And that really added a nice pop of color to that faux rusted pot. Now we're just going to put these faux flowers right into the dirt that's already in this pot. And again, we're going for the lavender. This time we're cutting it off. So see how I just hold this stem and then cut off each individual pick until I'm left just holding the stump. Did the same for the purple lavender. And then just had some fun arranging it. I tried to, if you put a color in one part of the pot, you're supposed to put the same color on the opposite part of the pot. So I was kind of thinking about that when I was doing it. And you'll get a good look at both of these pots during the porch reveal. Jumping in with a little bit more information about the playlist is the 5 under $5 challenge. And the theme this month is Garden and Porch Decor. Our host is Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and our guest host is Lisa from Our Grey House. Their channel links, as well as a link to the playlist, will be in my description box below. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Lighted branch display. I thought this would look really cool on the porch, and so I gave it its own project. So we have this buffalo check napkin, the 20 LED lighted branch, and a glass vase from Dollar Tree that I've had for a while. So I just want to show you the best way to do this is fold the bottom of the branch and hang the battery compartment off of one of the lower lights. It works perfectly. And the battery compartment isn't like super noticeable. Especially this vase is going to be covered with the napkin, so you're not going to see through it. So I thought the vase deserved its own little coaster, kind of like a riser but flat. And I just took this very thin wood circle and then some thicker corkboard, and I'm going to glue one on either side. So I put down some wood glue, and then I'm putting hot glue in the middle. And I'm going to do the same for both sides. Then it kind of looked childish, like not very high end. So I hot glued this piece of rope around the edges. That Dollar Tree rope to the rescue. It just seems to make everything look cleaner and more finished. And Molly is barking. So that's what you hear in the background. Now this buffalo check napkin had 3 plies, and I was actually half finished when I realized the top ply was lifting up because the bottom ply was the only one that was sticking. So took it all off, washed it, and now here I am back again, and made sure I got the second ply off. And it was kind of hard at first. I wasn't expecting 3 plies, but we got it down to just the top ply, and what I'm doing is rubbing my glue stick over the glass and then lightly pressing and gently rubbing the napkin down into the glue. Now I've done this before with small pieces of calendar images, so I wanted to try it with a napkin. Ideally, it would be on a vase that didn't have texture like this, but you know what? I decided to just go for it. So, I just make sure the napkin is straight and just gently rub it down. Now, if you had like your thumb on it and you like pushed with your thumb, putting pressure, you would rub the napkin right off. So you do need to be careful while you're tapping it and rubbing it down. I want some rope at the top, so I just cut off where it starts to, I think you call it fluted. I'm not exactly sure, but it curves up to the top of the vase. And so instead of trying to get the napkin on there, I just cut it off, and I'm going to put some rope. So here I am. I have some gloss Mod Podge that I've had forever, and I was shocked that it was still good, but it was. And I just used a broken sponge piece off a sponge brush and just a very small amount of the glossy Mod Podge all over the napkin. Now here I am. This is like a medium width rope, not thin like twine, but not thick like what I used for the borders. I popped in some of those eucalyptus branches, and you'll get a good look at this during the porch reveal. Alright, our last porch refresh is this whimsical summer globe. It was marketed as a snow globe at Christmas time, and I thought, well, why not be a flower globe at summertime. Starting, I'm just going to cut to shape this floral foam. I just pushed the lid to the globe into the floral foam and then used that as a guide to trim it. And then it was pretty thick, so I trimmed that off as well. And I'll be putting some moss onto that, but the moss is like almost the same color. Matte Mod Podge. I finally found it. I can't believe it. I've almost bought some so many times, and while filming this video, I found it. So most of my floral trimming happened out of frame. So you see that little bouquet I made there. I also added in a little bit of greenery and just kind of smushed it together. I did wrap a wire around it, but I ended up having to trim off the bottom. So they just kind of stuck together because they were so smushed in together. Now you'll see me taping that drawer pull on top of the globe. I put some super glue on it and I thought the tape would make it stay, but it didn't. And I ended up doing something else, and the super glue still didn't work. So I ended up putting a screw through it. It was like a time and a half. So if you know any tips or tricks, feel free to share them in the comments section below. For now, I'm going to get the little bit of moss on the floral foam there. And then what I did is, at first I poked the florals into the floral foam, but then realized I needed to smush it together to stick it into the globe. So I just stuck it into the globe, and then put the lid on and turned the lid till it was tight. And then if the flowers looked too smushed, I took off the lid, trimmed more of the wires, and then put the lid back on until I was happy with how the flowers looked under the plastic of the globe. So just trimming and checking, trimming and checking. And in the reveal, you'll notice a different drawer pull on top, but you will get a better look at this during the porch reveal.